Oh man, here we go, man. Today we got a special guest all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, man. We got a certified trapper, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's happening?
Man, I respect the hustle, man. I've been seeing you everywhere. I see the memes going on Twitter. I see the it's like you're a meme now. You know, people use you for responses in certain viral tweets. Uh but well deserved though, man. You've been putting in a lot of work over these last 2 years.
Hell yeah, I've been just dropping, keep dropping on you. We gotta believe in that shit.
Yeah. So I want to go before rap. I want to talk about before 2021. What were you doing?
Trapping. Just trapping hard as a bitch. I was making music, but shit, like, I was still in between, like, trapping and doing music and shit. And
Yeah.
like really, like, you gotta choose one or the other for that shit for both of them to either one to work type shit.
Yeah. And we don't have to get too deep into the whole trapping thing. I mean, because I think, now you're a full-time rapper, so we can kind of talk about it a little bit. When you say trapping, was it selling a little weed here and there? Was it
Boy and girl. Boy or the girl.
boy and the girl? Explain that.
Like, the boy or the girl. Really, like, the girl, I had stopped selling that shit. Like, right before I stopped selling anything, I stopped selling girl, cause shit, like, with the boy, you can do whatever you want to do with that shit. I was just making way more money with that shit, so I was like, fuck selling girl. You
Yeah.
gotta agree
Who who
to it.
who introduced you to the trapping lifestyle? Was it something that you took on your own, or was you watching somebody else do it?
I was doing that shit since, yeah, like on the block and shit. I was doing that shit since I was like 16. Like, I was really trapping like when I was 16, like on the block and shit, like on the block. But then it got to like bigger things and shit. But then it's like, you know what I'm saying? You got to sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. Was it lucrative?
Oh yeah, crazy. That shit was definitely. I mean, like, having to be out all day, catching motherfuckers all day, that shit is either a point. Like, if it's either you want to do that shit or you're going to have to do it all the way. If you're going to be trapping, you're going to have to do that shit for real.
Yeah. What made you leave that lifestyle? Because when you're making, a certain amount of money, a lot of dope boys, a lot of trappers, they get comfortable and then they get into a place where they feel like, the money will always come and, police will, people they don't really think about y'all don't really think about the bad shit. Y'all only think about the money. Y'all always think it's always gonna come. What made you end up leaving that lifestyle after a while?
Shit, like, when I got to, like, when my fans encouraged me, like, they be like, keep going, keep doing that shit, keep going and shit. And then, like, but at the point when I stopped doing that shit, I just knew, like, that it was a chance. It was a chance for that motherfucker, for me to do some, like, different type shit. I feel like I did have a chance.
Yeah. And you just stopped cold turkey, or you used, the money you were making off hustling to fund the music?
Hell yeah, type shit. Like, I was, yeah, buying clothes and shit, doing that shit. But then, like, I had to sacrifice, like, being broke for a minute type shit. Like, some people can't take that shit, like, actually, like, going broke or being broke. You gotta be able to manage that shit and then manage your money type shit.
Yeah.
You gotta sacrifice something. That's all I kind of look at it like, because if you don't take that risk, then it's just gonna be, you ain't gonna go nowhere if you don't take no risk.
So you stopped trapping, and I mean, by that time, a lot of people know you because you're hustling. You're the man around town. So does that make it easier for the music? Because a lot of people know you now.
Hell yeah. It make that shit definitely be giving me like some funny ass vibes because I be high as a bitch, but I don't know. I be high as fuck.
Now you recently said that you went broke, right? And I seen a video you made 8 months ago on YouTube saying that I'm going broke. Is this all around the same time that we're talking about?
Damn near, but it was like I wasn't broke. I was getting money, but it was like that's how I kind of looked at it. Was broke? Hell yeah.
What is broke to you? Was it you were going like 10,000? Was it you on your last dollar? What do you consider broke at that time?
Broke was like my 5,000, something like that. And then like, but shit, like before I went to jail and shit, it was like a big change. Like I was broke, and then when I came out, it was like I was getting 15, 20K a month. So it was like that shit. It was a big change with that shit.
15, 20K off music?
Yeah.
Is this features? Is it streams?
Just streams.
I wanted to talk about that. In 2021, you released 19 tapes. 19. I've never, like, I've seen Lil B drop 100 song mixtapes. We've seen Young Boy drop 9 tapes last year. We've seen Famous Dex drop 60, I think, 4 videos in 1 year. But 19 tapes, well, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I was just putting them hoes out there because I feel like I just make the beat, so that's how it's easy to come up with, like, do that shit. Doing that shit all day, for sure.
So take us through the routine. Every day you wake up, you make a beat, and then you record to it. How are you producing 21 tapes in 12 months?
That's crazy. Yeah, I was living in the studio, so shit, I'd go to the next room after I wake up and shit, I'd make like 10 beats in an hour or some shit like that. And then I just go in on them hoes. And then I fuck around and record them bitches too. Record some videos to them motherfuckers. And
How many songs were you recording a day?
Like some days I do like 10, some days I do like 5, 3, some shit like that. I definitely do something every day though.
Yeah.
Like I got like plenty of still unreleased shit.
Yeah. Because now in the internet era, a lot of people think quality over quantity, but you're thinking quantity over quality. You're thinking, and tell me if I'm wrong, you're thinking that like the lottery, the more music I put out, one of these bitches are gonna go.
Hell yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I wasn't putting that much effort into motherfuckers, but I was like, it's just like an art at the end of the day. So it's like whatever I put in that motherfucker. And then shit. Hell yeah.
And you're noticing, your DistroKid or whatever you distribute through, are you noticing the fluctuation, the money going every month? Is this going crazier and crazier?
They the fans be telling me like, they be like, damn, this nigga just dropped 3 songs today, 3 songs an hour, 10 songs in a day and shit like that. When they be saying that shit, they just be telling me to keep doing that shit. So it just be like weird. Cause they be telling me they be listening to that shit too. That's why I was just seeing, like, I was looking at my analytics and that's what made me do that shit.
Yeah. So you get out of jail and you notice that every month you're making around 15 to 25,000 just off of streams.
Oh yeah. Like all together with my shit, that shit was.
What does that do? Does that make you keep wanting to drop tapes?
Yeah, I want to drop. I definitely had like slowed down on the music a little bit, but I'm gonna drop some. I'm gonna definitely come up with some fire ass tapes, cause like all the songs that they heard like came from tapes and shit like that. So yeah. I gotta drop a fire ass tape. I do a lot of music still. I probably got like 200 songs from the last like 2 months or some shit like that. Last like two months, I got like 200 songs.
That's incredible. So 2022, last year, you dropped 14 tapes. So 19 in 2021, 14 in 2022.
That's crazy. I feel like that shit then easy then. I mean, like, yeah, that shit, but I gotta make that shit more like more accurate and shit like that. But all the music gonna be fire. I gotta put
What do you mean by make it more accurate?
like what I'm talking about and shit. What I'm talking about, like the whole point of the shit, point of
Yeah,
the mixtape and shit like that.
yeah. Is that still a pretty big bag? I mean, 33 tapes in 2 years. Is that crazy streaming? Like, what does that look like? I ain't gonna lie, I'm pocket watching a little bit, man. 33 tapes is crazy.
They like a lot of that shit was like not getting heard until like that's why it worked because I dropped so many tapes. It worked so fast. But shit, they like YouTube push your content anyway, so that's damn near like good that YouTube do that shit. They push your content once they keep seeing you posting shit.
Yeah. I mean, 33 tapes is crazy. And you said you slowed down. I mean, what was the reason for that? Because you recorded 200 songs in 2 months, right? But you haven't released a tape this year.
Yeah, that do sound crazy. I just want to get like the right shit, the right shit, make that shit special. Cause that's what I'm trying to like change on the way I do. Cause it's like I definitely changed a lot, so I'm gonna make sure that shit way more accurate. Like I said,
Yeah. What was the one moment that broke through? You know, that viral moment.
um, I think it was that straight fire when I dropped straight fire and shit, and then I started doing shows like July, last July 2022, dropping straight fire.
Yeah. Now you're from Milwaukee, man, and you know we post a lot of news about Milwaukee. Last year was really really crazy in Milwaukee. A lot of murders, a lot of crazy shit going on. Kia boys, uh, you know, take us through the average day in Milwaukee. What is that like?
It's it's crazy. It's crazy, and then it's just like it's turned the fuck up. Like everybody, all the young motherfuckers. It is crazy. Like shooting, all type of shooting and shit, selling drugs and shit like that. I mean, shit, it is crazy. Everybody don't know about Milwaukee, so it's just like motherfucker ain't gonna know. Like we gotta get him a vivid image of Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm. And I see that you do that with the green screen in the videos. Is that Milwaukee behind you?
Hell
Like
yeah.
certain hoods and shit?
Sometimes I be doing some other shit like going somewhere else. But hell yeah.
Who gave you that idea?
I think when I was on Instagram, when I was on Instagram and I did the green screen on Instagram, that's what made me do it like with a real music video and shit.
Yeah. And do you believe that was the turning point? Like that's when the whole viralness and the internet shit like kind of, you know, shit started going crazy on the internet?
Hell yeah, when I did that first green screen, that was like, hell yeah, that shit definitely showed more numbers than like most of the other shit. So I'll
Yeah.
probably say yeah.
Is there gangs in Milwaukee? Like because it seemed like it's a war going on out there, you know, waking up, seeing, you know, mass shootings and, you know, it was a crazy story about a whole family damn near got killed in Milwaukee, like 8 people at one time. Real sad situation. You know, what is it? Is it the music? Is it drugs? Is it over money? Is it women?
It's all that shit. It's definitely music, drug, like, but like niggas get killed everywhere. So shit, like that shit, like regular in Milwaukee. Motherfuckers get killed shooting at motherfuckers, chasing motherfuckers and shit. But cause Milwaukee ain't that big, so it's like ain't nowhere to really hide.
Yeah. Now the Kid Boys, that's a national thing. That's something that we do know about Milwaukee is the Kid Boys. Do you personally know them?
It ain't really no kid boys. It's just like everybody, all them do that shit. So they just call them kid boys and shit. But shit,
Yeah.
like they just be taking them motherfuckers because they new, and you can take them. So shit, they just be taking them motherfuckers. They really be doing that shit. I think they really cracking down on that shit though, because they not even all that fast.
Mm-hmm. Is that a super big deal in Milwaukee? Like the Kid Boy shit?
Yeah, like definitely, definitely, because you can just take it. You can just take it, like come to it, bust the window, and take it. But I don't know if like people gonna still keep them cars so they can keep getting them took and stuff.
Now you get compared a lot to Soldier Boy. You get compared a lot to Lil B. A lot of people want to see y'all work together. Have Soldier Boy reached out to you yet? Because you know Soldier Boy is known for reaching out to new artists.
Hell yeah, no, Soldier Boy ain't reached out to me. Lil B, he had reached out to me though on Twitter and shit. Hell yeah, he had reached out to me.
Yeah. A lot of people compare, y'all beats. Soldier Boy, he's a producer too.
He still, yeah, he be like, I ain't gonna lie, like my shit came out, like my beats be coming out like different. I be looking at like Zaytoven and shit like that, like, and then like the Baton Rouge sound type shit, like not Baton Rouge, like Louisiana and shit like that.
Yeah, like twerk songs and shit like that.
That's what it sound like, but it's really not like. That's what it sound like, but it's like I can't say no twerk shit on no beat.
Yeah, but it seems like Milwaukee always had that type of like fast paced beats.
Yeah,
it sounds like twerk music, but it's not twerk music. Like,
yeah, that's what it is. I mean, like they be making. It's a lot of niggas that is making twerk songs and shit. Shit, the beats like that's why I'm trying to switch it up and have the beats like go crazy. Definitely do sound like twerk music though.
Mm-hmm. Now it's mixed reviews when it comes to your music, man. Like if you go on Twitter, it's a lot of people who think you're fire. It's a lot of people that don't understand like your direction and where you're going. In the early stages of you trying this rap shit, was there a lot of doubters? Were there a lot of people who were saying you were trash and, people on the internet not believing in your dreams? Did you have to go through that?
Hell yeah. That's all I really heard though. It was just like a lot of negative energy. But it's like that shit override that shit though. Like them fans too, so shit. Definitely on posting shit talk though. I be seeing that shit. But it be a lot of people encouraging. It be both negative and positive energy and shit.
Yeah. What kept you motivated? Because most people would have folded. Most people they would have let it get to their head. You kept it going though. I mean, like I said, 33 tapes throughout all the negative energy, throughout all the hate. What kept you going? What motivated you?
The numbers and shit motivated me. Like seeing the numbers and shit. I just stayed with my plan and shit and kept dropping. Like that's what I like to do anyway. So that's hell yeah.
Yeah. Now the Milwaukee rap scene, man. It haven't been a lot of big artists coming from there. You've had the Chicken Peas and the Spidey Mayweathers and the Lakias, and now yourself. But there's not a lot coming from Milwaukee. Why is that?
Yeah, it ain't too many because it's just like you gotta believe in that shit. You definitely gotta believe in that shit. I mean, it's gonna come. Like I feel like it don't work for a lot of people because they don't work hard enough and they don't believe in like the actual process of that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a lot of talent in Milwaukee, man. But like you said, man, a lot of people don't believe in themselves. You feel me? Like, you got to go through the process, man. And people think that shit is going to come quick. You've been doing that shit for years.
Hell yeah, I've been doing that. I just look at it like shit. I ain't think about like getting signed to none of that shit. I just look at it like if I were to keep dropping, I'm gonna just stay like I'll be good. But I just definitely believed in that shit, and I just kept going with that shit. I just try not to like get discouraged and shit.
Absolutely. Now, we talked about you producing. Did anybody teach you like how to produce, or did you YouTube it? Did you Google it?
I had went to school for audio production in 2020, and I learned how to use the software and shit. I did like live recording and shit like that. And then after I learned how to use the software, like a little, like 6 months, a year later and shit, I was good at making beats. That's all I needed to do, like learn the software.
Damn. So you went to school for it. Did you go to school knowing that, okay, I'm going to school to learn how to make beats so I could become a rapper? Or you went for a whole nother reason?
No, I went cause I didn't know how to mix my vocals and I needed beats for sure. So that's why I came like trying to learn how to make beats and shit. Hell yeah. Cause I was like kind of already making beats on GarageBand and shit. So I got like colder as the time went past and shit at making my own beats and shit.
And how long does it take for you to make a beat now?
I can make a whole loop like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or some shit
That's
like that.
insane.
Hell yeah.
You know, you're literally cutting out the middleman.
Hell yeah. I can make that bitch and then I'm just keep going. I can keep making them hoes like that's what's gonna get me colder, like doing more music and then like like and then most of my beats I don't use though, like 5 out of 10 beats I'm only use like 5. Hell yeah.
Did your family believe in your dreams? You know, the family could be the hardest critics, you know. It's millions and millions of rappers. Why would my son blow up? You know, did you have to deal with any of your mom and your dad and, you know, your girlfriend, baby mom doubting you? Because that's the toughest when they don't believe in you.
Hell yeah. That is tough. Like I try not to look at that shit. I ain't even really look too much at that shit. It was just I had to make sure that I believed in myself and shit. Cause it
Yeah.
was like I was all behind myself. I just make the beats, videos, sound. I edit, I master my shit and all that shit. So I do everything myself.
Yeah. Was it like any situations where you tried to like borrow money from them to help your career, or you told them a plan and they laughed, or was like, give us a situation where you felt like they was doubting you?
Uh I don't know. I don't really like ask too many people for help and shit like that. Like people really ask me for help. So I mean it been a lot of times like I already like know like people don't trust like
Mm-hmm.
ideas and shit I come with and shit. But shit, I be like really trying to weigh out the options and shit. Like it be kind of hard making other people believe in certain shit.
You mentioned going to jail in the beginning of this interview. Was that for trapping?
Hell no, I was on probation and shit for a CCW case and shit. And then like I was supposed to get flew out to LA to see like Atlantic Records or some shit like that. And then like my PO had looked at my content and shit. And then they seen me holding a gun and shit, and it was like I got revocated.
Yeah. So you got arrested for holding a gun in your music video.
Hell yeah.
How long did you do?
I did like 80 days, 70 days or some shit like that. Something like that.
Yeah. When you were trapping, did you ever, it's ups and downs in that shit. Did you ever get robbed or get set up, or how how the street shit gets, man? It gets ugly at times.
Hell yeah. I got finessed a couple times and shit. But shit, like that shit.
That's what comes with it.
Hell yeah. But that's when niggas gonna try that shit. That's why I don't be fucking with like fuck niggas that I feel like I try that shit because I've seen that shit before.
Can you take us through that? Like, I mean, did somebody pull up and run off on something? Did they tie you to a chair? Like, take us through that finesse situation. Man, you certified trapper, man. We gotta hear the trap stories, man.
This one fuck nigga had ran off on some shit. Like I was supposed to be grabbing like 9 zips or some shit like that in the drought. And then like he pulled up and I, you know what I'm saying, we did our little exchange and shit. But he rushed me and shit like that. So you already know it was like some funny shit. And I wasn't even like on my P's and Q's and shit. So it really wasn't it wasn't shit in the thing. So it was like he gave me 2 soap bars. So I was like, what the fuck? For 15 racks. It was in a drought, so that shit was like 14 racks.
Wait, you gave him 15,000
Hell yeah.
for 9 zips.
Hell yeah.
And
hell yeah.
Is this somebody you personally knew?
Yeah. Yeah, I knew this nigga for a little minute, but I met him in jail and shit. So it was like, and it was a white boy.
You give him the 15,000. He gives you 2 soap bars. You open up the package. Are you there when you open up the package, or you go home and open it up?
No, I just went back in the house and opened that motherfucker up. And I thought it was like some hard. I'm like, oh, all right. I'm like, damn, I wasn't supposed to get that though. But then it was like, I opened that bitch and wasn't nothing in that motherfucker.
You tried to call him.
Hell yeah, I tried to call that nigga. He right blocked me ASAP. And
oh my God.
Hell yeah. Blocked me ASAP on Facebook and everything.
How long did it take for you to get over that?
It had to been like a week. Or it had to been longer than that, but it was like I was sad as a bitch. I'm like, damn. But I still had some G's left. I had like 4 G's left and shit. I was just like, damn. But it was like I couldn't find that nigga, so I was just like, that was a lesson. For sure.
Oh man, 15,000. Hey, that's a lot of money to anybody.
Hell yeah, to get finesse and get nothing. Hell yeah.
Who did you tell? Did you keep it to yourself? Did you tell your homies? Did you go search for him?
Man, this how it really happened. It was like 7 G's was mine and 7 G's was supposed to be my uncle's and shit. And then like he wanted 7 G's back, so I had to get him 7 G's back. So I took the 14 G loss. And I didn't know if that was right or not, like me having to pay him 7 G's back, but it was like, I'm just putting my 7 G's in there because you wanted this shit.
For everybody listening, man, this is what comes with the streets, man. You win big, you lose big, right?
Hell yeah. You definitely.
Is this while you're rapping or this before your rap career?
This was like right at the start of my shit. Like when I got to making beats, like I was already making beats and shit like that.
Was it, keep it real, was it karma? Because people who get robbed rob people before too.
Hell no. I ain't never robbed nobody. I never get off on nobody. I think it was just cause like I was sweet. I guess I was sweet that time though. Because like why would I wasn't even supposed to be shopping with dude with no money like that. Cause I knew like I had somebody that I knew I was supposed to be fucking with. But he wasn't like he didn't answer. So I was just tripping.
Damn. Certified Trapper. Now you got 2 songs with Baby Tron going crazy right now.
Yeah. We got some more shit.
How did that whole, collab come about? Like,
Oh yeah, he just hit me. He had hit me and shit. And I had sent him some beats. He had sent the fire ass shit back. And then I had sent him some beats and shit. And then we had dropped the video like some weeks later.
yeah, because I mean, both of y'all styles are very, unorthodox. And then shit, Milwaukee and Detroit are damn near cousins.
Hell yeah.
So I mean, is it more in the works or?
Hell yeah, we got some more songs finna drop. We got some more shit finna drop. Fire is a bitch too. Some videos.
So, are you signed or are you independent?
Hey, I'm signed. I'm signed to Signal Records. Under Sony.
Okay. And I know a lot of people reached out. A lot of people were trying to sign you. Like, was it a bidding war or?
Hell yeah, with my lawyer and shit. That shit was, but it was like my lawyer already knew who to fuck with. So.
What made you go with them?
It was just like our relationship, and then like it was kind of more hands on. So and it's still like that. So that's why I really fucked with them and shit. And then my lawyer too. She knew who exactly like what was best for me.
Mm-hmm. Signing with labels, it's ups and downs with that too, because they kind of slow down the creating process sometimes. But it's good because they back you. You know what I mean? So have you have you dealt with any ups and downs with the label so far? Because you've been going crazy. You dropped 19 projects and 14 projects, and now it's like, you're not really giving us as much music as you were before. Is that like a label thing or?
Hell yeah. I mean, like I can drop on YouTube when I want. It's just like I more look at it being distributed and shit, and they don't distribute it when I want that shit to be on iTunes and everything and shit like that. So that's like a big problem. But shit,
Yeah.
that's why I'm thinking about dropping the tape, like coming out with my tape and shit.
All right. For sure, man. Hey, man, we got Certified Trapper here. And as you continue to go up, we're gonna double back and do it again, man.
Hell yeah. Get that bit right in.
But I appreciate your time, man. I love the hustle. I love what you got going on. Definitely gotta throw you on the Say Cheese platform, man, and because you got the personality, man. Like a lot of these cats, they music good, but they don't have no personality. And in these days, you gotta have some type of like personality about yourself.
Hell yeah. And I be high as a bitch though. That shit funny. What drugs do you do? I smoke weed.
That's it?
I don't be telling everybody what I do. I don't want to tell everybody.
I see you smoke cigarettes too. Is that something you plan on giving up?
Yeah, eventually. Eventually, I'm gonna stop smoking cigarettes.
Is it like a certain time period or?
Probably, yeah. It's just like I'm gonna get to that point. I'm gonna get to that point where I'm gonna not want to smoke cigarettes no more. Get to that point.
Yeah. How much money do you think you spend a month on drugs?
Not that much. I'd say like 500, 1,000. No,
A
that'll be
month?
yeah.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, that ain't yeah. I don't really smoke like that. I don't really smoke weed though. I smoke cigarettes.